Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of CVC TV, live for regional championship action here in Division 5, Region 17. We are live tonight in Niles, Ohio, at Eastwood Mall Field inside Bo Ryan Stadium at Niles High School, where the Kirtland Hornets will take on the South Range Raiders. I'm Kevin Arnold, and tonight I am joined on the broadcast by Tommy Caroselli. We are presented to you by the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery, ready to bring you this matchup between the AP number 1 and AP number 2 teams in Division 5. These two teams meeting last year in the same game in the regional championship, Kirtland winning up at Menor High School at Jerome T. Osborne Stadium, 49-35 in a shootout, as the band for Kirtland, their marching band, sets up the tunnel for their team to come out here in just a little bit. And on the other side, the cheerleaders for South Range waiting their team, dressed in their Santa hats tonight. Both sides of the stadium filling up. Tommy, we are in for one heck of a matchup here in Division 5.
Well, I mean, you hit the nail on the head. All you have to say is AP number 1 versus AP number 2. I mean, it's going to be such a great matchup. Two really well-disciplined, well-coached football teams that can put up points in bunches. And, man, I'm just so excited to be on the call with you, Kevin.
It is going to be one heck of a night, so buckle in. Thank you so much for tuning in, whether on ChagrinValleyConference.com or on the Chagrin Valley Conference YouTube channel. And looking back at last week, South Range defeating Sugar Creek Garraway 15-12. South Range actually taking that opening kickoff drive in for a 7-0 lead, led by their running back Dylan Dominguez, who had 18 carries, 63 yards, and 1 touchdown. The game-winning touchdown was scored at the beginning of the fourth quarter, with South Range trailing 12-7 to Garraway. A little fake end around as Aiden Leone caught a 18-yard touchdown reception on third down with the first play of the fourth quarter from Shane Lindstrom, who had taken that end around, stopped, and threw it into the left corner of the end zone. And on the other side, you saw it here on CVC TV, Kirtland defeating Garrettsville Garfield 25-7, a scoreless first quarter in that one. But by the end, Mason Russ amounting 29 carries, 230 yards, and 2 touchdowns last week. We're going to call his name a lot tonight. There were actually only 3 completions in that game, so weather was a factor last week. Tonight, yes, it's cold, but little wind, and this could amount to another shootout like we saw last year.
Yeah, very similar conditions to what we had last year at the JTO as South Range takes the field right down below us. I mean, it's going to be such a fun game. My question to you, Kevin, is do you think that South Range is going to be able to have the ball enough? Kirtland plays such a ball control style. Do you think they're going to have enough time to let Billy Skripak air it out?
Well, that might be one of the keys for Kirtland, is to hold on to the ball on offense, which they do so well tonight, because looking at last week's game and watching some of the live streams of their game from last week from 99.9's Z Country down in the New Philly and Dover area, they kind of watching that game. South Range in that first drive, what they wanted to do, they wanted to come out and play quick, and they tried to get up to the line as quick as possible. So with these two different offensive styles, one kind of slow grind, try to wear you down, as Kirtland breaks through their sign, as they come through with the Kirtland flag as well, rip that sign to shreds that the cheerleading squad worked so hard on this week. But Tommy, for you, looking at these two different styles, again, Kirtland, it's just kind of slow walk you down the field. It was 0-0 last week in the first quarter, then all of a sudden they hit you for 9, 15, 18, and it just mounts up, and their defense gets off the field. The other side, South Range likes to play quick on offense. Kirtland could get more possessions. How does one side control the other tonight?
Well, I mean, you kind of just hit the nail on the head. It's what do we do best, and what do you know? Do we know our identity as a team? And I think both teams sticking to their identity is going to be the ultimate chess match here. Is who blinks first, who has to abandon their game plan first. And I mean, for Kirtland, I think of the two styles, I think it's easier to try and take the air out of the ball than go quick. I think you see teams when the game starts to move too fast for them and they start to get out over their skis, so to speak, you want to go to that hey, let's slow down and control the pace. So for me, I think it's going to be, can South Range get momentum early? Can they let their pace be the one that dictates the game and make Kirtland go fast? I think that's going to be the deciding factor in the game tonight as we get ready for kickoff.
As we do get ready for kickoff here this evening, Kirtland will be kicking off. South Range will receive. And right down in front of us as we stand just above the 50-yard line, down here on Eastwood Mall Field, teeing it up for Kirtland will be Anthony Spiegel. And apologies for last week on that pronunciation. Want to make sure we represent all of these student athletes that have worked so hard to have opportunities to have their game streamed on television and in other forms of media. Give them all the respect they deserve. So Anthony Spiegel will be teeing it up for Kirtland. They do return their place kicker, Anthony Raguse, who we'll see later on tonight. Back deep for South Range. Looks like here on the near side we have Shane Lindstrom. On the far side, not sure, have not seen a number.
I believe that's Corey Pennick.
Corey Pennick. Yes, it is Corey Pennick on the far side. So officials just getting set to hand the ball to Spiegel. As they do and get that thing set, we are just about ready for what should be an intense and goosebump-driven type of game all night long as the stands continue to fill up. People are lined up outside the gate to get into this one, still right behind the band, the Kirtland Marching Band. And as the horn sounds to get this one underway, Spiegel into the football, and we are underway in the Division 5 Region 17 Championship. Lindstrom will collect at his 7-yard line, come across the 25, out across the 30, and get knocked out of bounds across the 35, out to the 39-yard line, their own 39-yard line, and that is where Billy Skripak and this offense will get things started. Who should we be looking for on the South Range offense as we see their starters pop up on the screen?
Well, Skripak does a great job of distributing the ball pretty evenly throughout this offense. For me, Skripak's the guy that we're going to keep an eye on. Can he stay upright in the pocket? Can he take care of the football? And can this offense get in their tempo quickly?
So South Range with the ball first, taking on the only talked about in media 53 game winning streak, the longest active streak in high school football in America for Kirtland. And Dominguez will get the first carry. That is Dylan Dominguez across the 40 out to the 44. So a quick gain of 5 on first down.
The senior running back, so physical with his style. He gets the ball and absolutely just invites contact, and he does the beautiful job of falling forward in contact.
11:29 left on the opening quarter clock, as we will have play clocks in the stadium as well here tonight. No score. 2nd down and 4 for the Raiders from South Range. Skripak in the shotgun. Dominguez on his left hip. 2 receivers to the far side. Jones will go in motion. And Dominguez, and that one gets picked. And going the distance, 20, 10, 5, touchdown. The Kirtland Hornets with a pick 6. Will Sale collects for the 45-yard pick 6 for Kirtland, and they go up 6-0.
Just a little bubble screen with some misdirection here as Sale jumps the route, sees it the whole way, and man, what a quick start for Kirtland.
This defense has been lights out the entire playoffs, and right off the jump, the second play of the game, that comes directly from film study, seeing tendencies from this Raiders team on what they'd like to do in certain situations.
You know, we've talked about how well Skripak's done at taking care of the ball all year, and a good job there, like you said, coming from film study to make a play early.
So on to attempt the extra point is Johnny Raguse, and his return is perfect. Right through the uprights, so with 11:05 to go in quarter number 1, it is the Kirtland Hornets 7 and the South Range Raiders 0 here on CVC TV. A quick start to this one. This is one of only 2 matchups between 2 undefeated teams in all of the state of Ohio in the playoffs right now. The other was, of course, Chardon against Dover, and Chardon winning that one handily in Division 3, Region 9. So they are on to the state Final Four. A berth in the state Final Four in Division 5 is on the line tonight in this one. And boy, Tommy, the perfect start that Kirtland was looking for.
And a nightmare start for South Range. I wonder, how does Coach Yeagley take Billy aside and say, hey, it's only your third one this year. You're still a good quarterback, good young player. Hey, put that behind us. There's still plenty of game left.
Plenty of game remaining. We are less than a minute in to this one, and we know that South Range can hit quick. And with Dylan Dominguez in the backfield and these wide receivers on the outside that Skripek has to choose from, it is going to be an up-and-down night. Kickoff for Kirtland. South Range bringing it back across the 35, and again, good field position. They will start at the exact same spot, maybe a yard more. Out to the 40-yard line goes Corey Pennick, and that is where South Range will start this second possession. So you're kind of talking about, Tommy, the message from Coach Yeagley to his quarterback. What do you expect to see in this possession?
I think they're going to start with some runs, let the offense get in rhythm, then air it out. That's what I would do.
Skripek back in that shotgun. He will hand off to Dominguez, trying to push the pile. Only a couple yards there. Strong defensive front for Kirtland, and it'll gain 2 yards, be second down and 8.
And, you know, to continue on that point, you just got to get back in rhythm after that. It shakes you to your core when you make a mistake like that. Can you say, hey, put it behind me, let's go back into the offense?
Quickly back to the line come the Raiders from South Range. Skripek fake the handoff to Dominguez, and he will take it himself. He's got some room across the 45, makes a man miss, still on his feet, across midfield into Hornets territory, gets the first down and more across the Kirtland 45 to the 44-yard line, and that is the way to build some momentum on that South Range sideline.
Absolutely, and as we look at this Kirtland defense, I think that the lineman, especially the nose tackle in Danny Alfieri, is going to be a key, because can they plug the holes that Dominguez likes to run through? I think that's going to be a huge part of Kirtland's game plan tonight.
Raiders will kind of flop the formation, flip the receivers over here to the near side, and a crossing route incomplete to his receiver, Aiden Leone, who, of course, we talked about catching that game winner last week from Shane Lindstrom, a quick gain of 9 on first down, and the Raiders are moving.
And just like that, they are moving. Like you said, it's all about just, can we get back on the horse, get the snowball moving downhill. After an early mistake, it's all about recapturing momentum. And South Range seeming to have a little bit of confidence back in the offense now.
And a team that likes to go quick, kind of huddling up, taking that deep breath. 9:43 to go. Kirtland on top, 7-0, thanks to a Will Sale pick six, 43-yard pick six. But Raiders are on the move, and Dominguez has some room on the far sideline. Spin move inside the 25 down to the 20-yard line. They'll actually give him a couple extra yards on that spin down to the 18, and the Raiders are in the red zone.
And you're seeing why Dylan Dominguez has been so effective this year, as, over 1,600 yards for the young man, as we got a player down on the far side.
Do have a Kirtland Hornet down on the far side as the referee signals for an official's timeout down inside the 20, so the training staff will attend to the player down. We will hope for all the best for him. Tommy, we kind of talk about every single week on CVC TV. We are so fortunate for the medical systems in this area, in the state of Ohio, and the ones that, of course, help supply some of the athletic trainers and medical staffing for these high schools these days.
Oh, yeah, to say the least would be to say that we're thankful. I mean, just some of the best athletic trainers that I've come across in the area come through the Chagrin Valley Conference, and it's just been, we're, like you said, very, very fortunate.
So clock sits at 9:31 to go in the first quarter, with Kirtland on top 7-0, but we do have an injury on the field. Now, for all your metal needs, we want to thank one of our other sponsors here tonight. While we do have a moment, for all your metal needs, call Cumberland Industries at 216-441-1800. That is Cumberland Industries, 216-441-1800. And as we kind of mentioned some of the medical systems that we have here, we, of course, are title sponsored tonight and throughout all athletic seasons, as we do see, which is a good sign, Tommy Goglin, the player down for Kirtland, able to kind of walk off with his coaches and trainers over here to the sideline. We do want to thank our title sponsor, Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery, and we will talk about them more as the night goes on, as well as some of our other sponsors here this evening. Again, thank you to everyone who is tuning in to our live stream here tonight. This is the Division 5 Region 17 Championship. Kevin Arnold alongside Tommy Caroselli here in Niles, Ohio. Eastwood Mall Field inside Bo Ryan Stadium. The South Range Raiders trail Kirtland 7-0 with 9:31 to go. But with a first down inside the red zone, they are on the drive, and their quarterback, Billy Skirpak, trying to take it himself, may have lost a yard back to the 20. So it'll be 2nd down and 11 for the Raiders.
Yeah, read option here for Skripak, and unfortunately reads it wrong. And Dominguez, you never know what he would have done around the end, but loss of 1 for the Raiders.
Loss of 1 for the Raiders. 2nd down and 11 at the Kirtland 20-yard line. Just under 9 minutes to go in the first quarter. Bit of a pistol formation look now for the Raiders. Skripak awaiting the snap. He has it. He will hand off to Dominguez, going left side, trying to make a few defenders miss, but Kirtland Hornets rallying to the football. Mason Russ and Liscano, the quarterback, Ramon Liscano, the quarterback for Kirtland, in there to help make the stop.
Yeah, and just a good job just gang tackling to the football there, as you see 4, 5, 6 helmets around the football. As here they come in, and just look at that. Doesn't stop with one bit of contact. Ball did pop loose on the end there, as you saw Liscano scoop it and try and advance, but the whistle had blown.
So gain of 2 to the 18, so 3rd and 9 now. 8 seconds left on the play clock. Skripak, shotgun. Connor Jones going in motion. Skripak looking that way. Now he'll come off, trying to find some space in front of him, and he will be dragged down as he tried to get to the first down marker. And only a couple yards down to the 16. It'll bring up a 4th down and 6, and a big decision here in the first quarter already for Coach Yeagley and the South Range Raiders.
Looks like they're going to keep the offense on the field here, so I kind of like the decision, honestly. Kirtland's sort of like the Kansas City Chiefs in the idea that you're not going to beat them with field goals. You got to score with them, so I like the decision here. Let's be aggressive. It's the first quarter. Let's go.
So big 4th down now, 7:30 and a ticking first quarter clock, and looks like Kirtland will take a timeout. Their first of the half. They will have 2 remaining, which is a great time to thank officially our presenting sponsor of CVC TV. That is the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgeries. Their doctors Keith Schneider, Jill Weber, Jacqueline Tomsick, and of course your very own CVC Commissioner, Dr. Don Lewis, who I'm sure is tuning in tonight to this live broadcast. They specialize and will help you with dental surgery, implants, corrective jaw, facial surgery, as well as trauma reconstruction. For all those oral surgery needs, visit the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery website at www.ohsurgery.com. That's www.ohsurgery.com. We want to thank you for all your support of the Chagrin Valley Conference, CVC TV, and all of these student athletes we are getting a chance to witness here tonight. And we thank all of the Kirtland fans, South Range fans, and just fans of high school football and football, sports in general, for tuning in tonight. Again, this is the Division 5 Region 17 Championship in Niles, Ohio. South Range trailing Kirtland 7-0. They're faced with a 4th down and 7 from the Kirtland 16-yard line. Skripak, the quarterback, back to pass, has a man open, and what a grab! And into the end zone go the South Range Raiders. A point away from tying this one up from 16 yards out. Connor Jones on a little end-around wheel route out of the backfield, kind of coming across the field, and there was just no defenders in his way.
No, it was such a loaded formation. It made you think they were going to do a power run or a power sweep. Instead, they decided to throw out of that formation. Think it caught Kirtland on their heels a little bit. And, wide open. Nice catch. One-hander. Get in the end zone. And we are an extra point away from being tied up.
So it looks like Luke Starkey on to attempt the extra point. Ball down, kind of a high snap. Ball down, kick on its way, and kick is good. Well into the band section where Kirtland Hornets marching band is stationed here tonight. Of course, that is the usual spot for the pride of Niles, as they say. The Niles High School marching band but that one was true through the uprights, and 7:22 to go. We are tied 7-7 in this ball game. Like we said, Tommy, buckle up, get ready, because it is going to be firework after firework.
Absolutely, and I think something that got lost in there. What a play by Shane Lindstrom, the holder. He corrals that thing, goes to his feet, gets down, gets the hold down on time. I mean, that's as exciting of an extra point as you're going to see.
And what a grab by – talk about the grab by Shane Lindstrom to get that extra point snapped down. You mentioned it, the grab by Connor Jones, just vacuuming that up with one hand, making it look easy. And all he had to do was just follow his blockers, ride that green turf in to the end zone on the far side, and that is how the South Range Raiders tie it up on the drive. Billy Skirpak throwing his 27th touchdown of the season after a pick six. That's one heck of a way to answer.
Oh, my goodness. Just a methodical drive, both run and pass. They were effective in everything they did the entire drive. That's a great, great answer, as you said. And now we're going to see the Kirtland offense for the first time.
Do get to see the Kirtland offense for the first time. Looks like back deep for Kirtland will be Ramon Liscano, Gage Sullivan, and number 10, Gino Blasini from near side to far side of the field. And Starkey has this one teed up at their 40-yard line off to our left. Into it, end over end, a short kick. Just at the 20-yard line will come Blasini, trying to find a cut through the middle and be bottled up over the 30-yard line, push his way, keep driving those legs out to the 32, and that is where Ramon Liscano and this Hornet offense get a chance to get their hands on the football for the first time tonight.
Another thing to keep an eye on is Tommy Goglin. We saw him go down with the injury on the defensive possession as we see the starters for Kirtland. Goglin makes his way out on offense. He didn't return on defense, but now he will man that running back spot.
It's always good to see any player that goes down, good to see them get back out there on the field. We have, of course, across the skill positions, Gage Sullivan here on near side with Pierce Boyd. Liscano will actually be under center all alone, looking to throw off the beginning, trying to look for Sullivan here on the far side, and just out of his reach. Great coverage by Shane Lindstrom, stride for stride. They were trying to go with the big hitter right off the start of their offense.
And for a team that doesn't throw much, I kind of love the idea to run a little 9 route to start this thing off. I like the intensity. I like the way that they're thinking early here. Tiger Laverty has got a few tricks up his sleeve tonight.
So 2nd down and 10 now from their own 32-yard line as we see the South Range defensive starters on your screen. Liscano back under center, going 5 wide again. Liscano will try to escape the pocket and get dropped after a short gain across the 35 out to the 36. So a gain of 4, and quickly Kirtland in a 3rd down and 6 situation.
And, the South Range defense is going to be excited because you're able to get quarterback contained there. But if you view that as just a run play, if that's a handoff for 4 yards, you're really happy with that on 2nd down, setting up a 3rd and manageable here.
As the South Range fans on the far side of the field get into this one to bring on their defense, Kirtland fans getting behind their offense as well. Liscano will hand off to Goglin, who gets the first down across the 42-yard line out to the 44. A gain of 8 on 3rd and 6, and they will move the sticks, and first down, Kirtland.
And this is what's so exciting and so dynamic about this Kirtland offense. They kind of remind me of an old-school Georgia Tech, where they're going to line up in that flex bone and be creative out of it, as Goglin there was one of the side backs, and then gets a nice little sweep and turns it into a first down.
So many different options coming out of this offense, and now you even see Gage Sullivan getting into the backfield. 6 minutes left here in the first quarter. Sullivan will get the carry on the pitch across the 45, get dropped at the 48-yard line. A gain of 4 out to the 48, 2nd down and 6. And this is kind of what Kirtland likes to do, stay ahead of the sticks, 4-5 yards a pop, and you know you're going to get a first down in those 3 plays.
And like you said, and like we've said, they're just going to take the air out of the football. And Gage Sullivan, I mean, he is every bit of 6'4", 190, and he's going to be a chore to take down all day long.
And still in that backfield behind Mason Russ, their leading runner, pitching to the far side. Sullivan looking to throw, and now he'll try to run for it. He does have some space. driving those legs, get pushed forward on the tackle from behind by Shane Lindstrom down to the Raider 45-yard line. Another first down for Kirtland.
And just another wrinkle here as the pitch goes to Sullivan, and he looks to throw it. And again, just the presence of mind that Reed's not there. Let's run.
So after out of the huddle come the Hornets. 5:05 left in the first quarter, tied at 7-7 in the Division V Region 17 championship. Goglin now in the backfield behind Russ, but Russ will get the carry from that fullback spot, and he is loose across the 35 down to the 33-yard line. And like that, Mason Russ's first touch goes for 12, and Kirtland is moving this offense after an early start. Interesting wrinkle to start this drive.
And it's just, again, it's just another wrinkle. And what I love about this Kirtland offense is just how they spread the ball. There's not just one guy that's going to carry the load. And we've already seen 4 guys in double figures for rushing.
Quickly back to the line comes Kirtland. Lascano will pitch to Goglin, picking his way, and may have gained 1 or getting back to the original line of scrimmage of the 33. So a better job by this Raider defense to string it out, setting the edge, and stopping him for no gain. Second down and 10.
And you said the key word there, set the edge. Who controls the line of scrimmage? Who controls the edges? That's going to determine this football game. And like we said at the beginning of the broadcast, get one of these teams out of their rhythm.
3:59 to go. First quarter. Power I formation for Kirtland. Lascano looking to throw for Sullivan. Goes up the ladder and grabs it amongst 3 Raider defenders. Like you said, Tommy, a big body boxing out like a rebounder in basketball and just secured that one for another first down.
And it's good coverage from South Range, but like you said, he just puts his back to the defender and controls the football, high points it, brings it down. Nice catch and a first down.
And when I say going up the ladder, I mean using those lengthy arms to go up in the air and just snag that. Now Russ on the carry, pushing the pile, driving through defenders for a gain of 7 down to the 11-yard line. In 2nd and 3, 3:23 to go, tied at 7-7.
And this is what I mean when I compared them to a Georgia Tech style team. Is they're going to have 3-4 guys within 4 yards of the line of scrimmage at the snap, and all behind the quarterback. And it just makes it so hard as a defense. Where's the football? What's misdirection and what's substance?
As Kirtland's Mr. Everything, Pierce Boyd comes in, checks into the ballgame, gives quarterback Ramon Lascano the play from Coach Laverty. Lascano pitching to Russ, coming left side, trying to find the first down, but a flag comes in from the backside of the play. Looks like we may have a hold on Kirtland. And we'll be holding on Kirtland, and it'll back him up 10 yards. So from a 2nd and 3, looks like we're going to go to a 2nd and 13. Not what Laverty wants to see from his offensive line and from his offense.
Not at all. And you mentioned that Kirtland's whole point of their whole offensive identity is getting ahead of the sticks. And penalties do the exact opposite of that and make it really, really difficult. So they need a good second down play here.
As the clock ticks again, 2:42 to go. Kirtland with a 2nd and 13 from their 21. Lascano keeping himself, trying to cut back up inside as he tried to go to the far side of the field, and will get some of that penalty yardage back, gets it down to the 15, so it sets up a more third and manageable, a 3rd and 7. They need to get to the 8-yard line.
And a big spot here, a big third down play. This is going to be a very telling play for the rest of this first half for sure, if not the whole game. Can South Range get off the field on third down when they need to most?
Lascano has the play from his coach as the Hornets break the huddle. We tick under 2 minutes to go in this first quarter. Lascano under center. Philip Laverty in motion. Lascano will hand off to Goglin, just driving those legs down to the 10-yard line. They'll be a couple yards shy of the first down. They do have their kicker back this week, but in this sort of situation, you wouldn't be surprised to see Kirtland go for it on a 4th and 2.
No surprise at all, especially now as we see the offense staying on the field. It's gonna, again, it goes back to what we said about South Range earlier. this is a game that's not going to be won with field goals. It's going to be won with touchdowns. And I think Tiger Laverty has that same mindset here as we hit the 120 mark of the first quarter.
And you got a guy in the backfield for Kirtland in Mason Russ who averages 9.5 yards per carry, as he will be behind his fullback, Philip Laverty, and looks like we will have another timeout for Kirtland. So they're going to think about it a little bit more after they saw the defensive scheme that the Raiders brought from South Range on this fourth down. So the clock stops, 1:07 to go. Kirtland already down to one timeout in the first half. Tommy, you have to assume just more so they're going to be talking about the play call. Do you think they're going to bring out Ragoose to just try the field goal if they just wanted to think about that decision a little bit more, or is it just the play call that they had?
I think it was the play call. I think that again, I think Tiger Laverty knows that this is a game that's going to be won with touchdowns. I think he has not just one, he has two capable kickers. We saw these kids bombing away in warm-ups. But, again, I think he trusts his offense, and he trusts that he knows anything less than a 4th and 5, and one of our average carries will get it, especially with a guy like Russ.
So out of the timeout come both teams. 1:07 to go in the first quarter. Division 5 Region 17 Championship live here on CVC TV. Thank you to everyone tuning in. Kevin Arnold alongside Tommy Caroselli and the CVC TV crew here tonight. 4th and 2 from Kirtland from the Raider 10-yard line, and we have a stoppage in play as Kirtland had taken the snap, and offside on South Range will give Kirtland the first down, neutral zone infraction without even having to take a snap. Kirtland will now have a 1st and goal from the 5-yard line.
A critical mistake there from South Range, and not just in terms of giving up that 4th down, in terms of momentum now. It is firmly on this Kirtland sideline. You
could feel the energy start to rise all the way up here in the press box above Bo Ryan Stadium and Eastwood Mall Field, And now Kirtland with a 1st and goal. You feel that momentum on their side. Russ with the carry. Continues to drive those legs and drag defenders down to the 2-yard line. A hard-earned 3 yards on 1st and goal. It'll be 2nd and goal, 55 seconds left.
And this is an offense that feels, again, you don't need it all in one play. We can, from the 5, we can chunk for 2, chunk for 1, and then 3rd down, punch it in, 4th down, punch it in. This is a team that knows their identity, and it's running the rock.
And they are in no hurry at the end of the first quarter. 16 seconds on the play clock as Lascano brings the play into the huddle, and they will quickly break. 30 seconds now left in the first quarter. South Range and Kirtland tied at 7. A regional championship game, 2nd and goal for Kirtland. Lascano with the handoff to Mason Russ, and he drives into the end zone for another Kirtland touchdown. Hornets go up 13-7, 19 seconds left in the first quarter. Mason Russ again.
Yeah, and again, just a simple handoff over fullback here as they fall forward, get in the end zone, and take the lead.
So Johnny Ragoose on to attempt the extra point for the 2nd time tonight. Kick is up, and the kick is good, making your score Kirtland 14, South Range 7, 19 seconds still left in the first quarter.
And a long, methodical, just take the air out of the football. Come on in, we're going for a drive. As Kirtland walks down the field. I mean, they were challenged on that 4th down, but again, the crucial mistake from South Range jumping off sides. It's gonna, staying disciplined, that's gonna be the difference in this one.
And you saw in this entire first quarter, you saw all styles on display. You saw defensive fireworks. You saw the quick tempo offense and the ability to throw through the air from South Range. And now you see that ground attack, that methodical attack, as you said, Tommy, from Kirtland on offense. And that is how we are at a 14-7 score. Again, still 19 seconds left in the first quarter. I feel like we have played almost more than a half of football all in one quarter.
And it has that same kind of intensity in the stadium. Every play, you can feel the momentum swing between sidelines. You can feel the energy of the crowd. We are in for an absolute treat here in Niles tonight.
So Corny Pennick and Shane Lindstrom back deep again for South Range. This time Lindstrom will collect at his 4-yard line. Out across the 15, 20, and out to the 25, and that is where he is brought down by Rocco Alfieri and that Hornets special teams unit. So South Range will start 1st and 10 from their own 25-yard line, trailing 14-7, 13 seconds left in the first quarter. So get a play here, and most of this drive we'll see on the other side of the second quarter break, barring any other defensive fireworks that Kirtland may be able to bring here on this play. Billy Skirpak, the junior quarterback, in the shotgun. His leading rusher, Dylan Dominguez, on his hip, but Skirpak will take it himself, and a good run on first down out to the 34-yard line. He'll be a yard shy of a first down, but that is the drive starter that Coach Yeagley was looking for to take into the first quarter break, and that is where we go from first quarter to second quarter here in Niles, Ohio at Bo Ryan Stadium. Your score in the Division 5 Region 17 Championship, Kirtland 14, South Range 7 here on CVC TV. And we want to thank one of our other sponsors here tonight. The Chagrin Valley Conference is a proud partner of FRST, that is First Response for Sports Trauma Course and Physicians Ambulance. Through this important partnership, FRST has helped prepare our first responders on the sidelines and throughout the league to consistently and expertly respond to trauma on the field of play. We want to thank Physicians Ambulance and FRST for keeping our CVC community safe. For more information about this partnership, visit ChagrinValleyConference.com. So we head to the second quarter. South Range trailing Kirtland 14-7. They'll be met with a 2nd down and 1 from their own 34-yard line after a 9-yard gain on the ground by their quarterback, Billy Skirpak. And Tommy, like we were saying before the end of the quarter, all styles we talked about in pregame, whether on the field, on social media, or up here in the booth, we're all on display in the first quarter.
Absolutely, and I think it's part of what's made this game so much fun. We've talked about it. It's number 1 versus number 2, a trip to the Final Four on the line. All the cliches. I mean, what can you do on the field, and how dynamic can you be? And boy, that was about as dynamic as a quarter as we've ever seen. And
thanks to Steve Hare, our CVC information director. He gives us the score from the other game that would impact who these teams play. We'll get to that in 1 second as Skirpak goes through the air and completes out across midfield, right at midfield to his receiver. Looks like J.D. Kraus able to collect that one, and a big gain for the Raiders out to midfield.
Kraus just finds a nice little pocket in the center of the field, picks up a nice gain, gives South Range a first down, and about to go into plus territory here.
And they are quickly back to the line, so we'll get you that Division 5 Region 18 score here in just a minute. Skirpak in the pistol formation. Dominguez behind him, receiver to either side of the line. Skirpak gets the snap, awaiting the pitch, and he will take it himself and get dragged down after a gain of 2 down to the 48-yard line, 2nd and 8.
And just a nice quarterback keeper here. You saw him fake the pitch, trying to throw off the defender. No, didn't get him to bite, but I like I like where his head's at. And I'll tell you what, this kid commands the huddle really well. I think that he's definitely rebounded from the early interception.
These teams, winner of this game, will face off with the Division 5 Region 18 winner, Ottawa Gandorf, versus Elyria Catholic. After one, it is Ottawa 7-0 as Kirtland's defense comes up to make a play to start this second quarter. 10:52 to go. A drop for a loss behind midfield, back into their own territory. Go the Raiders. It'll be 3rd down and 12.
And we talked about it earlier when we were talking about the Kirtland defensive starters. How is that defensive line play is going to infect it? And Danny Alfieri getting in there, making a nice play, breaking up that read option.
So Alfieri will come out, and he'll be replaced by Bobby Whitaker as this 3rd down and 12 play coming from the Raiders' own 48-yard line. Trailing 14-7, 10:15 to go. Skirpak back to pass, looking for somebody, and the ball is loose. Ball is on the ground, and looks like the Raiders were able to jump on top of it. We do have a player for the Hornets down as we get the replay here on the screen.
Rolling to his arm side, always a dangerous play because eventually those hips have to flip back over, and it makes it really tough to throw it as you saw the pocket collapse, even the moved pocket collapsing, as it's going to lead to a South Range punt.
And you saw down here on the sideline, Tommy, Coach Tiger Laverty and his defensive coordinator, Coach Ryan Beeler, with the intensity, the attention to detail, and the level of coaching every single second of this game. And you see the same thing on the other side with Coach Yeagley and his group. Punt coming now for the Raiders. And a short punt down across inside the 35 at the Kirtland 33, and that is where their offense, after scoring a touchdown, Mason Russ 2-yard rushing touchdown on the last drive, this is where they will start their second possession of the game, 1st down and 10 on that punt for the Raiders. That was Dylan Dominguez, their running back, who will also handle punting responsibilities tonight.
And you mentioned the constant coaching, and I think that's the biggest difference maker. That's why we see teams this far into the playoffs, is they're well coached, and the coaches doing their best to have attention to detail on every single play, not letting any little thing go unnoticed.
And why these teams continue to meet in Division 5, the 3rd straight year these teams are meeting in the playoff. Lascano, it looked like a miscommunication on the handoff. He was going to hand it off to Russ. He took it himself, got some positive yards out of that, but that did not look like a designed fake.
No, not at all. But again, no little thing going unnoticed, and that's why these two teams have such great programs. Obviously, Kirtland, the owner of the longest winning streak in the country, and South Range, unfortunately having their season met the last 2 years to a bitter end at the hand of these Kirtland Hornets. It just shows how well these teams are coached, that they're in this situation year after year after year.
Some substitutions for Kirtland on offense. Out comes Philip Laverty. In goes David Patel on offense. Lascano getting the final instructions, getting guys in the right spot. Power I formation on 2nd and 7. Tommy Goglin on the carry, and he is free across midfield. Over the 40, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Kirtland! Tommy Goglin on the run. Boy, it looked like he was going to be stopped. He cut to the right, and as soon as he got to the near side, there was nothing but green grass in front of him.
And you saw Lascano show his palms. That's usually a sign of confusion. And Goglin almost drops the pitch, but a great job directing his blocker, directing traffic, and then it's a race to the end zone, and he wins that race. A huge play for the Kirtland Hornets.
Great hustle by Shane Lindstrom to come from the far side of the field to the near side to try to get that tackle, but Goglin too strong, and Johnny Ragu's too strong on that extra point, going through the uprights and more, hitting the top side, almost going over the band section behind those uprights. With 8:43 to go, Kirtland takes the 21-7 lead, a 2-score lead. And with an offense like this, with Kirtland that can control clock, when they strike quick, they make a statement when they strike.
Absolutely. And I was going to say it. I was assuming we were going to have a longer drive there, but I was going to say this is a pivotal drive for South Range's defense, because it's hard to fall behind by multiple scores against Kirtland because they have such long, sustainable drives, and it makes it hard to stage a multi-score comeback.
I believe that was 64 yards on that run for Goglin. Boy, I mean, after kind of some miscommunication on the first snap and then bobbling the handoff of the pitch, did Goglin and to make that play. But again, you do have to give credit to just the strength of Goglin, because Shane Lindstrom was coming and coming to get him, try to get him out of bounds or get him to the ground. That's a heck of a hustle, and those are the plays that keep you in ball games for South Range. It's 2-score lead. We know this one is far from over.
Absolutely, far from it.
8:43 to go. Ragus will squib this one across the ground, and looks like Pennick will take this one at his own 20-yard line, get across the 30, out to the 33-yard line. You got to say, on offense for South Range, they are getting decent field position to start these drives and kind of have more of the playbook open.
I was just about to say that. I think the decision to squib kick there is pretty significant, because they've been trying to boom it downfield, and you've seen South Range get good returns from Lindstrom and Pennick out to the over the 35-yard line multiple times.
So Billy Skirpak and his offense will start from their own 33, first and 10, pitch it out to Dylan Dominguez, who will cut up across the 35, be pushed down at the 37-yard line. A gain of 3, bring up 2nd and 7.
You got to have great blocking to run a shotgun toss scheme. As they're able to get a good chunk here on first down, it's just one of those plays that is you need to have great blocking up front, and so a good job there by the South Range O-line.
8:07 to go in the first half. Kirtland 21, South Range 7. South Range on the drive, 2nd and 7 from their own 37-yard line. Skirpak dropping the football, had to pick it up, tried to make a play, and he will get dropped for a loss back to the 34. And so it'll bring up a third down and long, 3rd down and 9. Skirpak lucky to get back on that football.
Bill Belichick always says tough teams do 3 things really well. They run the football well, they defend the run well, and they cover kicks well. Well, we just saw Kirtland, big run, running the football well. Kick with minimal return, they defend kicks well, and now defending the run well.
Well, and you talk about Coach Belichick, but we talked to Coach Yeagley before the game, and what was the main thing that he pointed out? It was not making those mistakes, not turning the ball over, or just those key mental mistakes. You can't have that, and those become much more critical every single time they're made deeper and deeper into the playoffs. Out come the Raiders. 3rd down and 9, 7:13 to go. Skirpak going up top and trying to bring it in. Good coverage down there by Tommy Goglin. Raiders looking for pass interference. They're not going to get it. Goglin just watching the eyes of the receiver going down the far side. That may have been Aiden Leone they were going for. And Goglin just watching the eyes, waiting until they reaching those hands out to make the grab and getting in the way.
And I think that is a really good phrasing of it, watching the eyes. He didn't turn his head to see the football. So I do think that they might have a case for PI there, but not to be on this case.
So now back in punt formation goes Dylan Dominguez. No one really back deep. The furthest one back is Ramon Lascano. Saw that last week in the regional semi. And a great punt from Dominguez will roll inside the 10 and roll dead at the 5-yard line all by itself. And a great punt by Dominguez to try to keep Kirtland back, try to win field position to get this ball back before the end of the half. It's
the third half of the game that so often gets forgotten, especially at the high school level. Special teams. That's a great play for the brand. Dylan Dominguez, a heck of a punt. Nice little roll. Love to see it.
Shout out to Pat McAfee there. Tommy's sporting the For the Brand shirt tonight. So apropos that we see a punt like that when you're sporting any sort of gear from one of the best punters, Pat McAfee, up here in the booth tonight. So great job, Tommy, wearing that here tonight.
Got to represent when I can.
Absolutely. It's always. It's For the Brand. So resetting things a little bit, 6:53 to go, opening half. Kirtland on top in the Division 5 Region 17 championship, 21-7, and they have a 1st and 10 at their own 5-yard line. And looks like a quick carry by Mason Russ, quick gain of 4 out to the 9, a little bit more breathing room. 2nd and 6.
I was just about to say, these inside the 10 situations are so pressure-inducing, but I think Kirtland, if any team throughout the OHSAA is prepared for it, it's them who runs this tight run scheme. I mean, this is just another walk in the park for them. Just get the ball to Russ, get it to Goglin, whoever. You're so well equipped with this offense for this type of situation.
And in no hurry at all. 5 seconds now on the play clock. And they take the snap, and looks like Russ able to bring this one out across the 15-yard line. Enough, 6 yards on the carry. That'll be enough to move the sticks. It'll be a 1st down and 10 at their own 16.
And for South Range, it comes down to contain. You just let up a big play. Now, can we bottle that up? Can we keep the chunk plays to a minimum? Try and keep them behind the sticks if we can. And the D-line doing as good a job as we've seen at containing this run on this drive.
Out of the huddle comes Kirtland again. 5 seconds on that play clock. 5:37 left. Lascano with the snap. Pitch to Russ. Pushing the pile out to the 20-yard line. Forward progress will get him to the 21. Another gain of 5, and now it's just these 5-6 yards a pop that Kirtland is so adept at in this rushing attack.
This one's going to come back on a hold, though. So march them back. Like we said, can South Range keep them behind the sticks? And nothing does a better job of keeping you behind the sticks than a holding penalty.
Second hold by the Kirtland offense tonight, and that is something that those little things that Coach Laverty and Coach Yeagley preach to their ball clubs. You can't have those key penalties, those mistakes that shoot yourself in the foot and kind of stop momentum yourself. So now it'll be a first down, looks like a first down and 20, throw out here to Gage Sullivan. And good gain on after the penalty out to the 22-yard line, 22.5-yard line. So we'll bring up a second down, but a second down is short.
This is something I'm always intrigued at when teams play against Kirtland or teams that just run a very run-heavy offense. Are the corners still engaged on every single snap? Because it's so easy when it's run to ease off as a corner. Can you stay engaged when they finally do decide to throw the football and cover your man and make a good play on defense?
Power I formation now for Kirtland. I'll hand it off to Russ, who gets bottled up right at the line of scrimmage. May have been able to push forward for a couple yards out to the 25. They need to get to the 26. So it'll be a third down and 1. A strong stand there by that defensive front for the Raiders.
Huge play here for the Raiders. Again, contain the run. Can you keep them from getting a first down, especially in this area of the field? Probably not a spot where Tiger will go for it if you can make a stop here on third down.
And you know Kirtland's going to come out in that power I, so you're going to have to get pushed from this defensive front on 3rd and 1. A end around by Goglin. They will get the first down and more across the 30 out to the 32-yard line. And it's those options you were talking about earlier, Tommy, this Georgia Tech, like this triple option, like they're just coming from every different angle.
And it makes it so hard to stop as a defense because, again, what is eye candy and what is substance? That's going to be the hardest part, and you see it pay off for Kirtland right there.
So go inside the mind of the defensive coordinator and Coach Yeagley for the Raiders. What do you tell this squad? How do you get them to get off the field?
Trust your eyes.
And Lascano with a good fake as he had handed off to Mason Russ with a lot of motion behind him. And that is one of those key areas or key plays where you got to trust your eyes like you were just talking about, Tommy.
Exactly. And when I say trust your eyes, I mean, obviously, you're not going to again, it's hard. You don't fall for movement. When guys go for fakes with their bare hand like we saw Lascano do there, you got to see the football, hit what you see, trust yourself as a defender.
3:13 to go now. Opening half. Kirtland 21, South Range 7. Kirtland with a second down and 5 from their own 37-yard line. Lascano will take it himself and just bully his way for 6 yards out to the 43 and another first down. The chains will move. Kirtland only with one time out left in this half. South Range with all 3, but Kirtland on the move. Clock stops momentarily, 2:59 for those chains to move.
That was such a unique run by Lascano. I mean, again, when I say trust your eyes, you usually got to see something first. But Lascano takes the snap and immediately, like a quarterback dive on 4th and 1, and turns it into a 9-yard gain.
Lascano will bring him out. Only Mason Russ behind him. Laverty going in motion and false start on the offensive line. Looked like possibly the left guard right guard or right tackle moved. That was Joe Picar on that offensive line. And we've had a couple holes, and now that false start dropping your drive back behind the sticks.
Yeah, and very uncharacteristic of Kirtland, and you can see it in Tiger Laverty as he was visibly mad at that one. Again, very uncharacteristic mistake from the Hornets.
Lascano taking a peek at the clock, seeing that it reads 2:23 now left in the first half. 6 seconds left on that play clock. Lascano coming out, throwing out here into the near flat to Gage Sullivan, making a couple moves, trying to be dragged down to the ground, but not going down easily as Gage Sullivan. He gets into Raider territory down to their 40-yard line, and it's another first down, also getting out of bounds to stop the clock.
Absolute bully ball from Gage Sullivan here. It's just a 4-yard hitch. Not a crazy, intricate route, but he gets it, shrugs through contact, gets out of bounds. A great job there by the Kirtland offense.
Tommy Goglin out, David Patel in, and Kirtland will leave the huddle. 2:10 to go. First quarter leading 21-7. Mason Russ will get the pitch, and he won't go down easily either. A gain of 7 or 8, and now flags fly after the play as the South Range Raiders letting a little frustration out. Those mental mistakes you can't have in a ball game against Kirtland, especially this early when there's still plenty of time left.
I was going to say just a little shove here on the end as, I mean, we've seen worse in a game, but you can't do it right in front of the ref.
Now, you saw that side official right there in front of the play, just watching as Mason Russ was trying to get up off the ground, saw the push, and the flag immediately came out. So tack on an extra 15, and Kirtland quickly into the red zone. Still plenty of time left, even with one timeout, 2:01 left on the second quarter clock. They can add. They're trying to add to this 21-7 lead.
Discipline, discipline, discipline. That's how South Range is going to need to get back into these games. You can't have unnecessary penalties like that, and you got to stick to your assignments on defense.
Looks like we will get a timeout for South Range. Their first of the half. They will now be left with 2 for the final 2 minutes of the first half. And an update from the Ottawa Glandorf game against Elyria Catholic. It is 14-0 early in the second quarter is the latest score that we have from that one. Of course, the winner of that game plays the winner of this one. Currently in the Division 5 Region 17 Championship here on CVC TV. Kirtland on top of South Range Raiders 21-7. We have seen a pick 6 from the Kirtland Hornets defense, and Mason Russ with a touchdown, and Tommy Goglin 64 yards. We've had some big plays in this one. How does South Range kind of try to settle things down, force Kirtland maybe into a field goal attempt, or get off the field in this case?
Well, you kind of just took the words out of my mouth. I think the whole purpose behind Coach Yeagley taking this timeout was to calm his guys down. Things were starting to roll downhill, and it was starting to get a little out of hand.
As Philip Laverty will get the inside handoff. Ball is loose on the ground, and Counter Jones has the ball. That one pops loose. South Range picking it up again, and on the far side, a crazy play, a turnover for Kirtland. South Range will take over, but ball just pinballing around, bouncing around on that turf and in between hands. At the end, South Range will get it at their own 25-yard line on the turnover.
Yeah, a wild play here from the start as it's a fullback dive, and then somebody just gets a helmet on the football then it just turns into schoolyard shenanigans as it's who can scoop it, who can run, who can scoop it, who can run, as, again, another swing in momentum.
During that play, all I could hear was a little old school yakety sax kind of as the ball's kind of going around. But, hey, in that case, South Range will take it if they're hearing that song behind them, because that means they picked up a fumble. They got the turnover they needed, and 2 timeouts, 1:45 to go. Try to put a drive here to put some points on the board before half. And
flag comes in, I think.
Yep, flag down. False start on the offense. So after a big play, mental mistake now from South Range will back them up to a 1st and 15. But this is a team with the amount of time left, the amount of timeouts left, they can put up big plays and points in a hurry. This is the kind of situation, a 2-minute drive, that they live for and are built for.
Absolutely. You built for it's the perfect word, because they have, again, it's not like Kirtland can spy on a certain receiver and say, hey, they're going to go to the X. They're going to go to this guy. Skripak does such a good job spreading the ball around to all of his weapons. It makes it hard to key on one receiver or one back, because they're so dynamic in every sense of the word with their offense that it's going to be fun to see how this 2-minute drill is conducted by Skripak and called by Coach Yeagley. I'm thrilled. This is a great way to end the half.
Division 5 Region 18 score update. Ottawa now on top 21-0. I know Elyria Catholic came into that one a little banged up, so Ottawa out to an early lead in that one. Kirtland out to an early lead in this one against South Range. As South Range tries to go on a drive here with 1:40 to go, trying to get some points on the board before half, and they will quickly come back to the line after a quick completion to Connor Jones.
Staying in bounds, though, so the clock keeps running.
Billy Skripak quickly back to the line. He will hand off to Dylan Dominguez, and he will be dropped in the field of play, and it'll be a third down. And interesting to see them run the football when you're not going to get a first down to at least stop the clock momentarily.
Yeah, again, you take the words out of my mouth, Kevin. As you know, Dominguez is a great runner. He's your best option to run the football, but I don't think running the football is your best option here.
Skripak getting the snap. He will take it himself, looking for that first down. He will get it across the 40, out to the 42-yard line, 56.9 on the clock. But in the field of play, they only stop it until those chains are set. Skripak quickly trying to get the signals from Coach Yeagley and his offensive coordinator.
The nice thing about South Range is they do line up rather quickly. So compared to most offenses, they're not going to lose as much time.
44 seconds left now. Skripak looking down the field. Doesn't see anything. He will take off himself, and he will get out to the 47. And Coach Yeagley wisely taking a timeout here as Skripak did not see anything down the field. Great coverage by that defensive backfield from the Hornets.
I was just about to say, that's one of the few times on this drive that I've been okay with the run because it's a designed pass. He went through all of his reads, and instead of forcing something, he decides, I'm going to take it myself. He picks up a few. I'm happy with that decision from Skripak.
So 38.2 seconds left in the first half. Kirtland 21, South Range 7. Both teams with one timeout left. And a great time for us for one final sponsor reminder, and that is the title sponsor, the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery. Their practice diagnoses and treats your facial pain, injuries, offer you a full range of dental implants and bone grafting procedures. You know the place. Look no further than the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery for all those oral and cosmetic surgery needs. You can visit their website for more details, www.ohsurgery.com. That is www.ohsurgery.com. And for more details on this game, we thank you for tuning in to CVC TV for a heck of a Division 5 Region 17 championship. South Range trying to get back some momentum. 38.2 seconds left, 2nd and 6. A double handoff from the Raiders from Skripak to Dominguez over to, looks like, number 28. That is Jake Starkey. Getting the carry. First down, again, in the field of play.
Yeah, again, I don't know if I agree with running the football there.
25 seconds, and the clock continues to tick. Looked like some movement still going on in that offense. Now Skripak will run across the 40, across the 30, look to get out of bounds, and he will get tackled in bounds. They will call him out of bounds, and they may just stop the clock momentarily to move the chains. It looked like the referee on this side was signaling he got out of bounds.
Yeah, it did look like that signal, and it's about time they used the near side of the field. They've been on that far hash for far too long.
So 1st and 10 Raiders at the Kirtland 27-yard line. Skripak getting the signs from Coach Yeagley. They will flip the formation, send 2 receivers to the far side. Dominguez, his running back, on his right hip. Skripak rolling out to his right, looking to throw, low throw, and that one squirts out of the hands of his intended target. 8.7 seconds left. They would have had the first down, but that would have been in the field of play once again.
Yeah, if that would have been complete, you're probably using the timeout to give yourself a shot at the end zone and then the field goal, but instead incomplete. So now you're sitting at the 27-yard line with only 8 seconds, so you're probably maybe taking a quick shot to the boundary and trying to get the field goal unit on.
I was just going to ask you if you're looking for a shot to the end zone, shot to the boundary with a shot to the end zone. Depends on how much confidence they have in their kicking game as well. As Lindstrom goes in motion, he threw one last week. He's looking to throw again in the end zone. That one gets picked off Great coverage on the back end. It looks like Tommy Goglin comes up with the interception. He had his buddy Ramon Liscano on coverage as well. Kirtland gets the big turnover to end the half with 1.5 seconds left.
And just the last thing you want here if you're South Range. I actually kind of like the trickeration here. It makes sense. Take a shot to the end zone. Worst that can happen, it's incomplete, and you kick the field goal right. Unfortunately, it's underthrown by Lindstrom, and Goglin gets the pick, and we're going to go into the break with momentum firmly on that Kirtland sideline.
And Kirtland will get the second half kickoff, leading 21-7 at halftime. We saw that play last week at the start of the fourth quarter for South Range. That same kind of end around, Lindstrom stopping, trying to throw, this time from the right side instead of the left, going for the same guy, Aiden Leone. Boy, the film study, the details that both of these squads look for between each of them has been on display in this one, and Kirtland taking advantage of those more so in the first half. So at halftime here on CVC TV, presented by the Ohio Center for Oral Facial and Implant Surgery, the Kirtland Hornets lead the South Range Raiders 21-7. As Tommy Caroselli and I will step away for the halftime break of this Division V Region 17 game, we will bring you the marching bands of South Range and Kirtland. Hopefully you guys enjoy both of their halftime shows. And Tommy and I will be back for all your second half action right here on CVC TV.
We hear it all the time. Go ahead, guys. I'm slow. Got you.
Because it's a little bit chilly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to give him take him.
up with the Ohio High School Athletic Association tournament brackets, scores, photos, and news from around the state by going to the OHSAA website at www.ohsaa.org, along with our other social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Connect with the OHSAA so that you can stay connected. Programs for this OHSAA tournament contest is currently on sale. Tournament qualifiers, state championship history, and lots of other exciting features are included. Pick up your copy of the program today. Do you love sports, have a desire to stay close to the game, and want to contribute to the educational experiences of the student athletes? Become an OHSAA contest official, where open positions are always available. To get started, go to www.ohssaa.org/officiating today.
December 12th, I think. All right. I'll text you after this. All right.
Welcome back inside Bo Ryan Stadium at Eastwood Mall Field here in Niles, Ohio at Niles McKinley High School here on your CVC TV Game of the Week Regional Championship style for the Division 5 Region 17 Championship, where at halftime, as we just about ready to start the third quarter, the Kirtland Hornets lead the South Range Raiders 21-7. The first half highlighted by a 42-yard pick six by Will Sale and a 64-yard rushing touchdown for Tommy Goglin for Kirtland. For South Range, their only touchdown scored on a 16-yard touchdown pass from Billy Skirpak to Connor Jones. Kevin Arnold alongside Tommy Caroselli here, presented by the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery. Tommy, as we get ready to start this second half, what was the message in the locker room for both South Range and Kirtland as both teams try to move on to the state Final Four?
So I'll start with Kirtland, and for Kirtland, it's simple. It's keep doing what we've done. We've gotten big chunk plays on both offense and defense. We've created turnovers. We've done our job. And then for South Range, it's, hey, we're still in this thing. You take away two chunk plays. You take away the 64-yard touchdown. You take away the pick six, and it's a 7-7 ball game.
Well, I'm talking with Coach Yeagley from South Range this week as Starkey will kick off a short kickoff, pooched down inside the 30. Lascano will pick that one up for Kirtland, run it out to the 35-yard line, and that is where Kirtland will start this second half, first down and 10. And going back to that point, Tommy, talking to Coach Yeagley this week, during the week and even before the game, he praised how good and disciplined the coaching is and the team is for Kirtland. But South Range has that same kind of team, and this defensive stand to start the half, we'll see what kind of message really was sent in that locker room from a great coaching staff. 27 seasons for Coach Yeagley, all at South Range, so you know they still have a lot left in the tank tonight. Lascano will take the first snap and hand off to Mason Russ for a gain of 5 out to the 40-yard line, bring up a 2nd and 5, just underway here in the third quarter, 11:42 left to go.
And you mentioned this opening possession for South Range. It is going to be critical. The defensive stand here, if they can make one, will go a long way in determining if they can get a second half comeback going here.
Some leaders for Kirtland at just coming into the third quarter. Lascano was 3 of 4 in the first half for 52 yards. Leading rusher, Tommy Goglin, 5 carries and 84 yards as Mason Russ adds to his total in the ball game. And a first down run out to the 48-yard line, just a couple yards shy of midfield, but that moves the sticks. And just like that, Kirtland gets their drive rolling.
And you mentioned Lascano, 3 of 4. The only incompletion there was the shot play on the very first play from scrimmage that they took as they tried to make an impact early. Other than that, he's taking care of the football, and he's been good with his passes. He's been crisp.
Now power I formation for Kirtland. Hand off to Russ. Lascano will actually pull it himself, get across midfield. 3 yards on the carry down to the Raider 49-yard line and bring up 2nd and 7, 10:40 to go in the third quarter.
Kind of a clunky exchange there from Lascano as seemed like he was a little late to pull it back and almost caused trouble there for the Kirtland offense.
Lascano will get the play call from Coach Laverty as they will break huddle and go right back into that same formation. This time David Patel as the fullback, Mason Russ as the running back, hands down. They will now hand off to Goglin on that end around like he did in the first half. This time better defended, pushing him back up inside, does that Raider defense, but just shy of a first down by a yard down to the 43. They need to get to the 42 for a first down. A big third down now for this Raider defense.
Yeah, going to be a pivotal down here for the Raider defense. Can they make a stop? Can they plug the holes? Can they trust their eyes? Can they limit the misdirection that Kirtland provides?
So gain of 6 there for Goglin, now with 90 yards on the ball game. Lascano will pull it himself, get the first down, and just keep driving those legs down to the 35. And now that rushing attack, that machine that Kirtland has developed under Tiger Laverty in his 16 seasons is well in motion as the referee swings his arm to run the clock, now under 9:30 to go.
This is the second time we've seen Lascano run that kind of exaggerated quarterback sneak where he just gets the snap and goes, and both times he's turning into big gains.
Coming into the night for the quarterback Lascano, I mean, one of the leading rushers on this team, and has 7 touchdowns on the year as well. Quick handoff there for Kirtland. Russ on the carry, down to the 32. Quick second down and 7.
And the reason that those quarterback sneaks can be so effective for Kirtland is because of what we've said earlier with me saying trust your eyes, because that's a play that requires quick reactions. And what happens on those is these South Range players are waiting to basically confirm what they see, and they're not just reacting to the running quarterback.
Power I again for Kirtland. Ramon Lascano pitching to Mason Russ and gets across the 30 down to the 28-yard line. Another gain of about 4 or 5 yards. Bring up a 3rd and 3 now, deep inside Raider territory.
And I think we're going to see this a lot. We're going to see Kirtland, again, just be content with three yards in a cloud of dust football, as they're going to see quite a few third downs. It's already the third one we've seen this drive, as Kirtland, again, just trying to take the air out of the football and wind themselves to the finish.
And knowing that the Raiders offense can score so quick, I mean, yeah, last year it was 49-35. You may not see that high of a score tonight because Kirtland has been so good at this rushing attack, and they'll get another first down again inside the 25 at the 24. They are just so good at, while it doesn't seem like a lot, 4 or 5 yards, Tommy, it works, and it also chews up so much of a 12-minute quarter clock.
3.1 yards a carry. That's all you need to average, because that'll move the sticks on a 3 down or in 3 downs. I'm sorry, 3.3, not 3.1. Bad math, man. I'm a football guy, not a math guy.
Hey, it's football night. It's not math night. But we do actually have, that actually brings up a good point, we actually do have 2 math teachers on the sideline. One retired in Coach Yeagley on the South Range sideline. One still teaching in Tiger Laverty. We'll get to that here in a second as Lascano will take the handoff, get pushed from behind, but good carry there on 1st and 10. down to the 22-yard line. So quick gain of about 7 on first down, 6 or 7.
That's all I was trying to do. I was trying to set you up for the point about both these guys being teachers.
You know, it's called being professional. Transitions is what they call that, and teasing before that play. Of course, both of these teachers, of course, helping students in the classroom and out there on the playing field, both for calculus and stats. And they've known each other for a while because they would help each other with their lesson plans, as well as, of course, playing against each other, coaching against each other out there on the gridiron. Another carry for Kirtland on 2nd and 4. Better stand there by that Raider defense. No gain on the play.
Yeah, and again, this is something that we didn't see much of from South Range in the first half. As you look, every time we get to the point of contact, there's 3, 4, 5 maroon helmets at the football, and that's doing a great job. It's something, again, it was lacking in the first half, and I think it could provide a difference in the second half. As another 3rd down for Kirtland here.
3rd and 4 at the Raider 18-yard line. 5:48 to go. Quick ticking 3rd quarter clock. Kirtland on top, 21-7. Pitch out to Russ. Stays on his feet after being tripped up, and he will get inside the 15 and get another first down for Kirtland, just shy of the 10 at the 12-yard line.
A fantastic second effort there as he trips, stays on his feet, and gets himself a first down and keeps that clock moving. Already 6.5 minutes off this third quarter clock. As you see, just a basic sweep concept with a pulling guard. Good job to stay on his feet. And again, you see 2 maroon helmets at the point of attack, trying to bring down this Kirtland offense.
5:15 to go. Kirtland first down and 10 at the Raider 12-yard line. Lascano will fake the pitch, take it himself, and get taken down by a host of Raider defenders. Connor Jones in among the mix, as well as a guy that we have not mentioned tonight, but we should. One heck of a defender in Tyler Remish, their leading tackler coming in tonight with 80 tackles, only a junior.
And again, that's just, again, we talk about these teams as football programs, and that's because you get a lot of junior help. This South Range team is led by a lot of juniors, and so it's going to be interesting to see, especially going into next year, how they develop, and having an anchor on defense like that definitely doesn't hurt, Kevin.
Programs and culture, that's what these coaches are building, and that is why Coach Yeagley and Coach Laverty have been at South Range and Kirtland respectively for over 15 years each. Of course, Coach Yeagley for 27 seasons and still feels like he can keep going. He was telling the broadcast team from last week's game, as Kirtland will be faced with a 3rd and 4 coming up with 4:10 to go, leading 21-7. Coach Yeagley was telling 99.9 Z Country's station that was doing the game last week that 27 seasons, yeah, he's retired from teaching, but he's still got the energy to go. When he doesn't have any more, he'll hang it up. But he's still loving it and just loving every single aspect of the process.
Yeah, and we talked to him on the field before the game, and you can just see the life in his eyes and how excited he is to get up and play football and coach football.
Mason Russ on the carry, pushing his way inside the 5. He'll be a couple yards shy of the first down. It was 3rd and 4, so bring up a 4th and short. Maybe a 4th and 2 from the 9. From the 4. They need to get to the 2-yard line.
Interesting decision here if they're gonna, and they are gonna keep the offense out on the field and go for it here. I like it. Again, you got a comfortable lead. If it's, you know, the analytical approach to football. If you don't get it, you're pinning them deep and it works like a punt. But I mean, I like the decision here, especially with the fact they've drained just shy of 9 minutes off this 3rd quarter clock as Kirtland takes a timeout.
Kirtland taking the timeout. Coach Laverty must have known we needed to get some of our sponsors in here tonight, taking up almost all of the 3rd quarter. And, of course, we can't do CVC TV and bring this great live stream to you on ChagrinValleyConference.com along with CVC TV without the help of our title sponsor. You can see him up there in the right corner of your screen, whether watching on a device or on your television here this evening. That is the Ohio Center for Oral Facial and Implant Surgery. You know the names: Dr. Keith Schneider, Don Lewis, Jill Weber, and Jacqueline Tomsick. They specialize in dental surgery, implants, corrective jaw and facial surgery, along with trauma reconstruction for all of your oral surgery needs. Visit the Ohio Center for Oral Facial and Implant Surgery website at www.o8surgery.com. Thank you to the Ohio Center for Oral Facial Implant Surgery for all of your support of this great conference in the CVC, CVC TV, and these student athletes. Quick check, Tommy, on the Ottawa-Glandorf and Elyria Catholic game. Last check we had, it was 31-6 Ottawa. That is the Division 5 Region 18 championship. Winner of that game plays the winner of this one right now. Kirtland on top 21-7, faced with a 4th and 2. May try to get South Range to jump. And looks like a timeout again taken by Kirtland. So 2 quick timeouts by Kirtland, as they had to take one before the play clock ran down. So 3:04 to go. Looks like Johnny Raguse will join this timeout conversation.
Yeah, I think they're going to kick it now. I think they thought they saw something that would be able to help them draw South Range off sides. I mean, they were able to earlier on a 4th down play. Unfortunately, they couldn't here, so I think they do send out the kick team here on 4th down. I do wonder if Kirtland's got a fake in their bag.
Yeah, we'll see, because they've already pulled out some other tricks that we haven't seen just yet on CVC TV. You may have seen them. If you're a fan of Kirtland and been out to the games, make sure you get out and support your local high schools and all of your local student athletes in any sport that they're playing. But, of course, if you're not able to make it out, we will try to do our best to bring the best live streams here on CVC TV. But we'll see what kind of action they have on this kick. Like we said, pulling out some tricks early, going for the big home run ball to start the game on the first play. And the offense is back out there on the field, so they pull Raguse out of the huddle. So 2 timeouts. Lascano will take the snap, pitch to Russ around the left end, looking for the first down, and he has it. He gets dragged down at the 1, so needed 2, got 3. First and goal at the 1 for Kirtland.
And I think if you're Kirtland, that's actually best case scenario, is as you're clearly making a concerned effort to drain this third quarter clock. So now you get to drain 20 more seconds-ish off the clock.
2:59 to go. Like we said, this drive started back at their own 35-yard line, and they've already killed more than 9 minutes of this clock. Russ just bullies his way into the end zone for his second touchdown of the game. 2:56 to go. Kirtland punches in for 6, 27-7 over South Range.
And this was, I mean, if you're going to put a 9-minute clip together of what Kirtland football looks like, it's this, and it culminates with this ending. Get under center, give it to the big man, let him punch himself into the end zone. Another just physical drive from the Kirtland Hornets as they add the extra point.
Johnny Raguse's kick goes up through the uprights. He is 4 for 4 tonight on his return to the lineup. And Kirtland goes on top now 28-7. 2:56 to go in the third quarter. A quick moving quarter as South Range gets their special teams unit together for this kickoff. What do you tell your guys now? Defensively, Kirtland just did what they wanted to do. Now you get a chance to get your offense back out there. How do you chip away and chip away quickly with time now of the essence?
The biggest point that Coach Yeagley needs to make is we cannot panic. We have a quick strike offense. We got a darn good quarterback. Hey, we're okay. We've got here before. We've had to fight and scratch and claw to get here. Why not one more time?
So as we look at the third quarter for Kirtland, boy, what a drive they just put together and punched in by Mason Russ. This drive started after, of course, right at the start of the quarter. So 9 minutes and some change off the clock. That is quintessential Kirtland Hornet football. It's not always going to be these quick hitters like we saw with Goglin earlier with 64 yards. It's going to be a drive just like that. Johnny Raguse, kind of a sidewinding end-over-end kick. Pennick will take that one, and he's got some room on the near side, inside midfield, makes a cut at the 40, at the 30, be dragged down in Hornet territory. That is actually Dylan Dominguez, their great running back. You want to get your playmakers on the field, get them in at any point. As they said in the Waterboy, It's the last game of the season. You can't hold anything back.
And you see it's a line drive kick, and look how well it's blocked up, just right through the hole untouched. And then he gets a nice little stiff arm, and then whoop, puts the brakes on. He flies right by. Shout out Maverick.
Man, we're bringing out all the references now as quickly Raiders are in Kirtland territory, and this is exactly what they needed. Billy Skirpak will hand off to Dominguez, who just had that run, and he will drag 3 or 4 defenders with him. Philip Laverty jumping in on top of the pile to finally help his Hornet defenders bring him down, but a gain of 6 down to the Kirtland Hornet 23.
Yeah, again, don't panic. You just got a huge chunk play. Now we're running our offense. They're getting in rhythm, just like we saw after they gave up the pick 6 in the first quarter.
Skirpak, shotgun, fake the handoff, crossing route, and behind Aiden Leone. That may have been tipped at the line of scrimmage to redirect that football, because Leone was streaking free across the middle.
And I like the read. I like the decision to throw off play action. Had a man open. I believe that was tipped at the line, so a good job there by the Kirtland defense. But, again, South Range, they're comfortable, and you can tell that this is a team that has earned their way to this point. We got an official timeout to reset the playbook.
Yeah, they'll bump that one back up to 25 seconds. It dropped all the way down to 14 seconds. But as they were getting the football set, referees noticed the clock issue, so they wanted to make sure Raiders got the time that they needed. 2:08 to go in the third quarter, trailing 28-7. Skirpak running, getting dragged down. Philip Laverty will not let him go. Mason Russ comes in to clean it up, but that was all Philip Laverty from his linebacker spot, and a big loss back behind the 30 deck to the 35-yard line.
Yeah, just again, this is something that South Range has shown in their offense, where they want to work Skirpak back to his arm side. Sorry, I'm going baseball there. Back to his non-throwing arm, and I'm not a huge, like I said earlier, I'm not a huge fan of doing that because it makes the guy flip his hips, and we saw Laverty sneak in from his linebacker spot right as Skirpak was trying to flip his hips back.
From 3rd and 5 to 4th and 17, you have to go for it now with 1:18 to go and the clock still running, and flags fly. Delay of game by the Raiders, and with the play clocks in the building, a lot of these schools aren't used to having that, but someone's got to step up as a leader and point out that clock when it's running right in front of you.
And yeah, and that's a crucial error, because now you go from 4th and bad to 4th and nightmare as they stand at their own 40. They got to get to the 18.
Skirpak in that shotgun formation, awaits the snap. He has it. He looks downfield, trying for a big shot across the middle. Connor Jones looking for it, and it goes incomplete. Turnover on downs, and Kirtland's defense holds. A big kickoff return from Dylan Dominguez goes nowhere but backwards, and Kirtland's defense showing you their prowess and power out there on the gridiron on that drive.
And that hurts if you're South Range. That was one that you were set up to score. I mean, Dylan Dominguez with an outstanding kick return to put you into scoring range. And again, like you said, it leaves them wanting more as Kirtland. I mean, if you put together another 9-minute drive here, it puts us deep into the fourth quarter.
And our very own AA Anthony Alford mentioning those 9-minute drives, as Russ will carry this one across the 40, 3 yards out to the 43, 2nd and 7. AA Anthony Alford mentioning on Twitter at Anthony Alford 92. Last week, Kirtland, when we were doing the game, 9 minutes and 12-second drive. This week, 9 minutes and 3-second drives. It's part of their arsenal, and it's what makes Kirtland who Kirtland really is.
Yeah, it's the truth right there. Like I said when they scored it, if you're going to put together a 9-minute package of what Kirtland football is about, it's that. It's running the ball, getting 2.5, 3 yards a carry, putting yourself into 3rd and short situations.
Lascano with the carry. This time, very short gain, maybe a half a yard. They'll give him out to the 43, make it a 3rd and 6, and that will bring us to the end of quarter number 3. A very quick quarter as the Hornets hold up the number 4. The South Range Raiders do the same. A key third down coming out of this third quarter break. And, of course, CVC TV, presented by the Ohio Center for Oral Facial and Implant Surgery, is also brought to you by Cumberland Industries. For all your metal needs, call Cumberland Industries at 216-441-1800. That's Cumberland Industries, and their phone number, 216-441-1800. And if you're interested in sponsoring CVC TV, don't know how much time we will truly have in the fourth quarter, so want to make sure we mention as much as we can right now in our brief pause. If you are interested in sponsoring CVC TV, getting involved in all of the action that we are able to bring to all of you live in your homes or wherever you may be tonight, you can reach out and get more details about how you can get involved at ChagrinValleyConference.com. That is ChagrinValleyConference.com. So we start the fourth quarter. Kirtland 3rd and 7 at their 43-yard line, leading 28-7 in the Division 5 Region 17 championship. Gage Sullivan gets the pitch, and he gets the first down into Raider territory. Goes out of bounds at the Raider 45-yard line. Just like that, Kirtland picks up the first down.
Yeah, and just a nice little sweep to the left here with Sullivan, as he's going to have a nice little hole to run through, picks up the first down. And again, the Tiger Laverty offense, they're just trying to take the air out of the football and leave as little time as possible for South Range to form any sort of counter.
So the clock stops, 11:54 to go, fourth quarter. Kirtland looking for another regional championship. Lascano seeing the play clock will go under center, and looks like they did not get that one off in time. Play will stop as the snap came just as the play clock hit 0. And so both teams now, play clock issues delay a game that'll drop Kirtland back for a loss of 5 back to midfield.
It's always interesting to me how refs choose to police that delay of game, because typically, they're going to call it an illegal shift, actually.
So my mistake, illegal shift. It looks like they allowed that play to continue until the end. It looked like the play clock was at 0, and they're marching this one all the way back 10 yards. So
I'd say there was multiple fouls against Kirtland there, as that the illegal shift was declined. There was also a hold, because as you said, Kevin, they let the play go off after the illegal shift. So they'll take 10 yards instead of 5 back, and South Range puts them in a first and long situation.
And first and long situation, first and 20, 11:42 to go. This is the biggest defensive stand for the Raiders this season, as Lascano has it himself. A good design play and a good fake. Mason Russ was bottled up in the backfield, but once the Raiders realized he didn't have the football, Lascano was 15 yards downfield at the Raider 40.
And again, it comes down to trust your eyes, trust what you see, as South Range tried to go a little more reactionary to the football there, and it turned into a big gain for Kirtland.
Kirtland huddling up at midfield. Again, looking for another regional championship, another trip back to the state Final Four. A senior class that has not lost since the beginning of 8th grade. Russ on the carry. Get dropped for no gain, so it'll bring up a 3rd down and 5, and a big 3rd down for this Raider defense. But Kirtland trying to extend this win streak to 54. They won't talk about it. They don't care about it. They go 1 week at a time. It's all part of the process. But a senior class, like I just said, Tommy, that hasn't lost since the beginning of 8th grade. You don't see stories like that unless you have such a great culture, a great program, and a great coach that cares about these kids more so, not just on the field, but off. And that goes for both sides, honestly.
Oh, absolutely.
Russ on the carry, tried to cut it back up inside, saw the first down, but good job there by that Raider defense. Looked like Dominguez getting in there for the Raiders, and helping to bring him down was Cameron Aquisto for the Raider defense. So a 4th and 1 in plus territory What's Laverty's approach up 28-7?
I think it's quarterback keeper. I think they've had a lot of success with that in these situations. You don't need it. You don't need a lot of eye candy here. I mean, yes, the South Range defense has kind of fallen susceptible to those kind of plays, but I think you've had success with the quarterback keepers as they choose to give to Russ.
Russ will just push the pile for 3 yards down to the 33-yard line, and that'll be enough for another Hornet first down. More importantly, clock, tick, 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 tick.
And I'm going to go back to a point you mentioned about both these coaches, and it's just how much they care about their guys. And you know, as the old saying goes, it's not about the X's and O's, it's about the Jimmies and Joes. And you can see that with these coaches and just how much they care about their players, and their relationship goes so much further than the football field for these guys.
Lascano will take it himself around right edge. He's got some room. 25, 20, drag down across the 20, inside the red zone at the 18-yard line. Another Hornet first down.
And again, just a quarterback keeper where Lascano says, I'm going to out-athlete you to the outside, and he does just that. Nice carry, keeping the clock moving, stay in bounds, tick, 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 tick.
So closer to another regional championship. Winner goes on to face the winner of Ottawa-Glandorf and Elyria Catholic. Last check, Ottawa-Glandorf up in that ball game. Here, Kirtland on top and on the drive. They'll mark that back of the 19 on first down. Russ just drives those legs. Johnny Ragouz from 31 yards out makes the score 31-7 Kirtland with 6:10 to go. A heck of a drive by Kirtland. A good stand there by the Raider defense to force the field goal. But that was what we just mentioned, Tommy. We got to give him credit. Offensive line driven and staple for Kirtland.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you look up and down this Kirtland sideline, they are starting to taste it. They're starting to taste that Final Four appearances. I mean, if you're South Range, I mean, it's bleak, but it's not done yet. As they, I mean, like we've said, time and again, they are a quick strike if they can get it going and get going through the air. And we will see if they can do it on this kick return here.
Looking at that offensive line, just to give them some credit, their starting line: left tackle Jonathan Withrow, left guard George Prusak III, center Mason Vermilly, right guard Brennan Broad, and right tackle Joe Picar. And you got to add in their tight end Pierce Boyd, who is, we mentioned him earlier, he's Mr. Everything. You've seen some of the articles from John Camp with the News Herald. A guy that's dealt with injuries, now a senior, will do anything. He was going to be the backup quarterback. His brother goes down, and now he's got over 100 yards passing, rushing, and receiving on the season, but also doing the dirty work up front. That's the type of guys you win championships with.
Absolutely. A glue guy if there ever was one.
A kind of high kick up in the air, collected at the 30 for the Raiders, out to the 35, and that is where their offense will start now with 6:06 to go. And Tommy, talk more about that, like having guys for South Range as well along that offensive line, the guys that are just going to do the dirty work. They don't care about their name being in the paper. They will just do anything to try to win regional and state championships for their school and their program.
I mean, guys like that are pivotal to any organization. It's the guy that's willing to sacrifice for the name on the front of the jersey and not the back. It's just, man, it makes all the difference in programs, and you see it up and down Kirtland and South Range alike.
So kind of a fake there, and end around Connor Jones going across the 40 out to the 41-yard line. A good fake there, good misdirection by this Raider offense going from near hash to far hash. And we tick to 5:49 to go, second down for South Range.
Man, I love the ability to misdirect, and it's what's made Kirtland so successful. And if South Range can encapsulate it a little bit, I think that they'll be able to move the ball here late in the fourth. So Billy Squirpak in the shotgun, Dominguez on his left hip. Two receivers here to the near side.
Still running the football, but running effectively is Dylan Dominguez. He gets inside Hornet territory, down to their 47-yard line. More importantly, moves the sticks and temporarily stops the clock.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be the key is the old zig when they think you're going to zag. Is everybody's expecting South Range to throw it here. They hand off to Dominguez, and he rumbles for a first down.
5:09 to go, fourth quarter. Dominguez again on the run, finding some more space, and a quick gain of 10, another first down, and moving the sticks again goes Dominguez.
And a good job there. And we were giving credit to the Kirtland offensive line. The South Range offensive line, number one, they got some size up front. And number two, these guys are blocking to the echo of the whistle, and that is just what you love to see for if you appreciate offensive line play.
Shotgun, Skripek with the snap. He will fake the handoff, take it himself, patiently allowing the blocks to develop, and he's free inside the 20, 10, 5, touchdown. No one will catch him. 36 yards on the carry for Billy Skripek, and the Raiders put 6 on the board, now trailing 31-13, 4:38 to go, but a lot of fight left in those Raiders.
Just a read option here, and you're going to see him zoom right through the hole. I'm going to take that, and I'm going to go to the house. As a great job, good blocking downfield, and it's another key element in the run game for so many teams is can you get blocking from your wide receivers down the field? And that's a good job, as that was J.D. Krause, down the field making a key block for that touchdown run.
And now the Raiders will go 4-2. Dylan Dominguez behind center. Skripek is out here wide to the right. He will try to throw for the 2-point conversion, but a flag flies. That one was incomplete, but there may have been some interference by Blasini in the end zone.
So they'll get another run at it here, and I like the decision. The math checks out. Make it a 3-score game if you get it.
So
a 2-score game if you get it.
So they will tack on and go halfway, add half the distance to the goal on that penalty. So, does that kind of help or hurt the amount of the playbook that's open on this 2-point conversion?
I mean, I think you have your 2 plays regardless, and it doesn't matter if you need 3 or 1.5. I don't think there's too many plays that are going to be taken out of the 2-point repertoire because you move from the 3 to the 1.5.
An interesting play call there to have Dominguez throw, and you had him open, just not able to break free from the defender. So now Skripek will just hand off to Dominguez, who does get in. Extra effort at the end, and they will put 2 more on the board. So it is a 2-score game, 4:38 to go, 31-15, and this is why both squads have been so good for so long.
Just so resilient, this South Range team. And to quote Dumb and Dumber, so you're telling me there's a chance. Here we go. I mean, again, we talked earlier about how important the special teams game is. Now you got to get the right hop, you got to get the right hands guys out there, and you got to get a little bit of luck too.
And we know the main storyline. Kirtland trying to extend the nation's leading win streak from 53 to 54 games, the 3rd longest in Ohio history, the longest in Northeast Ohio history. Trying to extend from 19 to 20 straight playoff wins, extending their leading streak. They have actually not trailed in the game since 2019 against Sandy Valley. Spans 27 complete games, now almost 28 complete games. Over 1,300 minutes coming in, and of course you add 48 to that, you're getting closer to 1,400 minutes of not trailing. But this is the type of game where, you've been leading for so long, quick strike, quick play type team. We'll see what kind of tricks they have up their sleeve, as they're going to have to attempt an onside kick, and they have a different kicker in there. That's Aiden Leone who's going to attempt the onside kick.
Obviously any onside kick is a huge swing in momentum. But, boy, if South Range can get this, they can start to taste it a little bit.
So Leone into this one. That one's going to sidewind and actually go backwards. They cannot touch that. So almost like a touchdown celebration where the receiver spins the ball, tried to hit it with the outside of his foot, and it took the wrong bounce on the turf and just started to spin a yard back at the 39-yard line from where they kicked off. Kirtland gets the ball without even having to pick it up.
And I like what he's trying to do there. It's a tough onside kick to hit with the outside of your foot like that. You want to create the spin that he did. You just want it to be further down the field.
So to kind of take this into the world of soccer, as you know, being the sport where you're using your feet, and you see these spectacular Sports Center top 10 goals where guys use that outside the foot and it kind of bends from inside out. You probably hit it with too far back on his foot. You need that closer up to the toes than towards the heel of your foot, because once you hit it, now it's going to go backwards instead of going forward to kind of swing back to your team, or maybe you get that bounce off of someone's hands because they're not expecting that type of spin, but just didn't hit it in the right spot of his foot. So Kirtland takes over and quickly gains 6 on first down. Now 4:20 to go in the fourth quarter, leading 31-15, and there'll be a 2nd down and 4 at the Raider 33.
Yeah, and just one last note on the onside kick. I think the most effective types of onside kick, you're going to hit the top of the football and kind of hit it like a ground ball that then gets the big hop and you can get a high flyer in there, or one that you kind of lay it flat on the ground and try and get it to spin like a helicopter. Those are the most effective types. But
so Russ will take the handoff from Lascano, get down to the 30, so it'll be a 3rd down and 1. And Kirtland just looking at that clock, chewing up this Niles McKinley turf, home of the Dragons during the regular season. But right now it is home to the Division 5 Region 17 Championship. Kirtland seeking their 10th regional title during this era with Tiger Laverty, and he's seeking his 198th win just at Kirtland alone.
Wild to think about. And if I'm South Range here, I'm thinking one thing, and that's let's rip the football out. Yes, we want to get tackles.
As they're not able to rip it out, and they're not able to bring Lascano to the ground. He gets first down yardage and more, and they'll take it inside the Raider 20-yard line at the 18. And more importantly, that clock continues to tick. We've already had a minute tick off. We are under 3 minutes to go in this one. Kirtland with only 1 timeout, South Range with all 3. But, boy, Kirtland has just put the hammer down on the clock and on their drives in this half and put the Kirtland stamp on this one.
And that is the problem. The run by Lascano there is exactly what happens when you go for the football and you go for fumble instead of wrapping up. It's easy to bounce off of.
Russ on the carry. He'll be dropped for a short gain, as there was some extras going on at the end. David Patel not happy with some of the kind of the pushing and shoving at the end, but you got to keep your head in it for if you're either team to give yourself a chance, not make the key mental mistake that could change momentum even with 2:07 left.
So a first down here is really all that Kirtland will need to ice this thing off.
Thing that they've really been able to stymie from this Kirtland offense, getting out on the edge and bringing guys back up in the middle, allowing guys to rally to the football.
I was just about to say that. They did a great job of containing it, as South Range is going to use their first time out here. They did a great job all night of containing those edges and not letting anybody leak out down the sideline, as these plays are kind of designed to do.
For Ottawa Glandorf in that Division 5 Region 18 championship, their first trip to a state semifinal, and they will get the winner. Right now, it shows Kirtland would be their opponent, but still some work left to do. Kirtland will be left with a 3rd down and 9. Before we get out of here, I do want to remind you and thank our other sponsor, that is FRST, First Response for Sports Trauma Course and Physicians Ambulance. Through this important partnership, FRST has helped prepare first responders on the sidelines and throughout the league to consistently and expertly respond to trauma on the field of play. We want to thank Physicians Ambulance and FRST for keeping our CVC community so safe. For more information on this partnership, reach out and get more details at ChagrinValleyConference.com. Tommy, this has been one heck of a ball game, and I know that the scoreline is not has indicated Kirtland has been in control. They've kind of shown that here in the second half. But this is kind of that dogfight, that back and forth that we were sort of looking for. It's just Kirtland has taken advantage of a lot more opportunities.
Yeah, and you hit the nail on the head. It's been a dogfight.
Lascano will carry this one, but a flag flies in on the play. May have seen a hold, and that is. So Kirtland will be marched back. Tommy, you were talking about how, Kirtland taking advantage of some of those more of those opportunities in this one than South Range has been able to.
Exactly, and I know we have a penalty on Kirtland here, but it's been, they've been able to navigate the miscues they've had, whereas for South Range, it's the penalties have been a little more impactful. The penalties have hurt more. A big 15-yard personal foul, jumping off sides on a fourth down play. The penalties and the mistakes when they've come up for South Range have been far, far more impactful than the ones that Kirtland's have made. And, when you lead off the first play from scrimmage with a pick six, it makes things really, really difficult. But I think that you need to tip your cap to this South Range team. They've battled all night long, and I think even just throwing up an 8 spot here in this fourth quarter is proof of that.
And Kirtland, that is their 5th penalty of the night for 50 yards. South Range has 4 penalties on the night for a total of 30 yards against them. Mason Russ will get the pitch, pushing his way, trying to get to the 15. He will be stopped shy of that at the 17. So on 3rd and 12, only gaining 3, be a 3rd and 9 for Kirtland, and South Range looks like they will take another timeout to stop the clock.
For South Range, you got to look at this team and understand just how much they're going to bring back next year. Number one, you bring your quarterback back in Skripek. You bring J.D. Krause back. You bring, there's so much talent that you're going to bring back this next year. You're bringing, Cameron Acquisto, we haven't seen much of him. He's only a sophomore. He's going to get some significant touches next year. There's going to be a lot to build from for this for this team, and I'm really interested to see what they can do in the near future.
You look at their starting lineup and just offensively, good balance between seniors and juniors. A little bit more senior laden on defense, but out of those 11 guys, when you do bring back a lot of experience and you have guys that are playing at younger grades like sophomores and juniors in such big games like tonight, there's still work left to be due tonight with 1:04 left on the clock, and it'll be 4th down and 8 for Kirtland. They do bring their offense back out on the field, but there's a lot of experience being laid here as Lascano. Oh my goodness! A jump ball for Gage Sullivan. That is how you put the exclamation point on this one. Lascano dropping back on 4th down and 8. Just lost it up for his big man on the outside. Gage Sullivan for 6.
Wow, what a play by Gage Sullivan. This is over two defenders, goes up, and man, that's just big boy football.
Goes up. Ball may have been a little underthrown. We'll get the extra point attempt here. Johnny Ragouz, perfect on the night, bangs off the top edge of the band's home for the night. Down here off to our right, so the score is now 38-15. Kirtland well on their way to another state Final Four appearance. But my goodness, Tommy, da-na-na, da-na-na. That's how you end a football game.
That is how you put an exclamation mark. That's how you punch your ticket. That's how you book your spot in the Final Four. And a great job by Kirtland all night long as they, just punctuating a great win. Plain and simple.
Gutsy call, foot down, end the game kind of call there. Lascano again just throwing it up for Sullivan. Yes, it's underthrown, but he knows his guy can go get it, and he just picks it out of the air, goes to the ground, secures the catch, and of course as he stands up, a little between the legs, kind of subtle little celebration that.
When you make plays like that, you can celebrate. Period.
I guess is what the kids call flexing on him. You know, he had to flex a little bit, but you know, we don't we may or may not know like how to trying to interact with the young people out there. You know, Gage Sullivan, I'm sure will have that that highlight saved and use that for time to come. But there's still work left to be done for Kirtland this season, and in this ball game, the Raiders on the kickoff, and Upman will just catch that one and be dropped at the 32-yard line. Grabbing that one for South Range, Tristan Toy, a freshman, getting a chance to get in the ball game here tonight.
You have never sounded older than saying flexing
I know,
on
right?
him. That was, whew, okay, first down, I guess.
Hey, well, first down and 10 for South Range. My microphone will probably be shut off for a while once this game ends. I don't know if our production director, Peter Telt, will even bring me back after pulling that one out of my hat here tonight. But Skirpak back to pass. He will toss out to Lindstrom on the far side. Good run. He's free across midfield, down the sideline, just dragged down shy of the 40-yard line for Kirtland. So a good bubble screen for Skirpak, and he will step over to the sideline. Clock will roll on this one. 37 seconds left. Kirtland leading 38-15.
Ethan Zins will take snaps here at quarterback as the senior will get a chance to lead a drive in his final drive of his high school career.
25 seconds. Zins take the snap. He will run it himself. Good run on first down, getting the senior a snap on offense to kind of close out his career at South Range. And unfortunately, great season for South Range, who came in undefeated. But again, they meet the juggernaut that is the Kirtland Hornets in the Division 5 Region 17 championship for a second straight year. The score looks different, but the result still reads the same as the ball game comes to an end. Kirtland Hornets, or your Division 5 Region 17 champion, 38-15 over South Range. Kevin Arnold alongside Tommy Caroselli. We'll keep it right here for just a few brief moments to wrap this one up as the Kirtland faithful that have shown up here tonight in Niles, Ohio, show their appreciation for their ball club, and they get to go on for another week, the state semifinal against Ottawa Glandorf next week. Tommy, this one, best way to sum it up, Kirtland, opportunistic, disciplined, and just too powerful for South Range here tonight.
I mean, for me, the best way to sum it up is Kirtland was Kirtland. They did their thing. They stuck to their identity. They forced mistakes out of South Range, and from the jump, Kirtland controlled the tempo, the momentum, and this game, again, closer than it's going to look on the score sheet of a 38-15 final. But I don't think there was ever a true doubt as to who was in control of this game.
And it all stems from that pick six to start the game from Will Sale, 42, 43 yards, whatever they're going to call it in the official stat book. But Will Sale just reading the second down play from Skirpak, just trying to get a little bit of a screen over to Dylan Dominguez, get his running back out in the flat. Sale read that perfectly. Credit to South Range. They were able to come back on their next drive. A touchdown pass from Skirpak to counter Jones from 16 yards out. But from that point on, Kirtland just controlled. And you got to say, if not that pick six, the biggest key, 9 minutes, 3-second drive to start the second half and punching that in with Mason Russ with a touchdown.
Absolutely. And, I'm going to go back to a word you use, and it's opportunistic. Whenever Kirtland was presented with a chance to leave no doubt, they took it. And then it goes from the pick six to the 9-minute drive that started the second half to even the fourth down play that we saw to punctuate this game.
As Kirtland celebrates down here off to our right, they will count out the number of points they scored. They'll have a couple of their athletes, Tommy Goglin and some of those other guys with backflips, and then Coach Ryan Beeler, their defensive coordinator. When Kirtland wins, Coach Beeler dances, and it's becoming a staple with Kirtland when they celebrate. And they've celebrated a lot. 54 straight games they extend that nation-leading win streak. And I know, people that are just tuning in as just fans or maybe fans of South Range. I know that has been the talk all week, but it keeps being the talk as the streak keeps going.
And you mentioned Coach Beeler busting out the dance moves. I'm going to steal one from the Boston Red Sox of old: win, dance, repeat. And that just seems to be the mantra for this Kirtland Hornets football team is again, win, Beeler dances, and they're going to go in and try and do it again next week.
And they will be presented with the Division 5 Region 17 championship. If we do have a couple more moments, we are going to bring that presentation to you here as they get going. We do have an announcement coming on the field here in just a moment as the South Range Raiders are having their last post-game conversation with their coach and Coach Yeagley. And this is the difficult part. We were athletes ourselves, Tommy, and we know what it's like, the ebbs and flows of a season, the ultimate highs of a win, but also the ultimate lows of the defeat. The defeat that ends your season and as a senior ends your career. Not a lot to hang your heads on as South Range and it's that senior class that has done a lot of great things to help continue to build and develop that program.
Absolutely, and I've had the pleasure and the pain of having to have those senior conversations as a coach, and man, after a gut-wrenching playoff loss with a group of seniors that you grew and you loved over the course of a season and over the course of their 4 years, those conversations don't get any easier to hear than they do to say. And I know that Coach Yeagley is trying his best, but those are emotional conversations that are hard to say and hard to hear. But it's the things that will carry on throughout life, and it stinks that it came to a bitter end for the South Range Raiders, but nothing, like you said, nothing to hang their heads about. An outstanding season and an outstanding career for that group of young men, young seniors. And
it's the bittersweet part of this job. We'll actually see if we can get the sound from the PA announcer as they announce the champion runner-up and Division 5 Region 17 championship trophies for South Range and Kirtland.
And you can see the emotion on the faces of these young athletes. It's absolutely heartbreaking that it comes to an end like this for them.
As the senior representatives, captains for South Range collect their trophy. I have a presentation for Kirtland here momentarily.
Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the field where we will recognize the Division 5 Regional Championship team from Kirtland High School. Presenting the championship trophy with 7 members to the contest, Niles Athletic Director.
And apropos that the guys to make the final firework of the night, Ramon Lascano, the quarterback, and Gage Sullivan, the receiver, go to collect that championship. As we were saying before, as they kind of announced Kirtland one last time, as we wrap things up here, the bittersweet part of this job, the big plays that we get to call, Tommy, the great celebrations that we get to see from the team that wins, but being coaches ourselves too and working with young people out there, as both you and I do, and you with baseball, me with soccer, and other sports throughout our time, you said it, when you lose the difficult conversation to tell your kids that, what you can learn, what life lessons you can take, but also, what good and what pride you can take in what you have done to get to that point, to earn an opportunity to feel the way you do right now in a game like this. And on the other side, kind of, job not done type conversation for Kirtland and Coach Laverty. It's the brilliance and the bittersweet part of this job, but we enjoy bringing it to everybody here at CVC TV. Any final thoughts, Tommy Caroselli, after this Division 5 Region 17 championship?
I mean, it's not just the highs and lows of the job. It's the highs and lows of sports, and it's the beautiful thing about what sports can do for us and can do for these young men on the field, for us in the broadcast booth, and for all you people watching at home. The beautiful thing about sports, they make us feel things. And you know, congrats to Kirtland. They're a well-coached, well-disciplined football team that's going to compete for a state championship in the next couple weeks here, as they move on to the Final Four. And for South Range, like we said, an outstanding year, an outstanding run, and nothing but respect for Coach Yeagley and the entire South Range Raiders team and community.
I think the best thing to say about South Range, with that junior class that they have and the culture that the senior classes help build, they will be back and be powerful in Division 5 for years to come with Coach Yeagley and that coaching staff at the helm. But at the end of the day, Kirtland wins their 54th game in a row, their 20th playoff game in a row, and they extend the win streak and they win their 10th regional championship here tonight. They are your Division 5 Region 17 champions. They go on to face Ottawa Glandorf, their first appearance in the state semifinal. They're the representative from Division 5, Region 18. That'll be next week, Saturday at 7 o'clock. We aren't sure if CVC TV will carry that one or not and where that game will be, but be sure if there are any big events that CVC TV can bring you, we will bring those right here to you on the ChagrinValleyConference.com and Chagrin Valley Conference YouTube channel. Until then, we want to thank our camera operators here tonight, Mike Allen and Jacob Tellep, our production assistant, Jim Wagner, our production director, and behind the board tonight making Tommy and I sound as good as possible. That is the producer extraordinaire, Peter Tellep. For Tommy Caroselli, I'm Kevin Arnold. Your final score, Kirtland 38, South Range 15. Kirtland moving on to the state semifinal. We'll see you next time, wherever that may be, whenever that might be, right here on CVC TV, presented to you by the Ohio Center for Oral Facial and Implant Surgery. Have a wonderful evening. Good night, everybody.